Welcome back to Class Farms, guys. Kaya here with the GBRS groups at the groups. Welcome back to Class Farms, guys. Kaya here at the Blackwater Center. Are you all right? We're with the GBRS group, guys. DJ, Cole, hopefully you're all right. And we've got Joe over here. And Aaron?
I'm here too, thanks.
Yeah, Aaron, glad to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
And today we're going to talk about the M4 versus the Army's new gun, the NGSW's basically new 6.8 M7, which was the XM7. Now it's the M7. We're going to compare these two and see what you guys think. And who's better to talk about this? Obviously, you guys from GBRS Group. So go ahead and tell us your background for a second, then I want to dive deep into the M4 platform before we move on to the XM7.
Good thing. Yeah, guys, I'm DJ Shipley from GBRS Group. Did 17 years in the Navy, from 2002 to 2019. Got medically retired, and I exclusively shot M4 platforms my entire career, starting off with the Colt M4, all the way down to HK 416, kind of every variation in there. And now that we're out, it's essentially exclusively what we shoot now is M4 variants thereof. For the ergonomics, just the comfortability, and the fact that you can change any of these configurations ever so slightly to make them really designed for the end user. That's why I love the platform so much.
Nice. What about you, Cole?
Yeah, Cole Fackler, same background as DJ, pretty much had a same mirroring career. Both got medically retired 2019, 2020, and started GBRS.
Very nice. And you got a lot of experience, I'm assuming, with the M4 platform, right?
Yep.
Joe?
Yeah, Joey Hahn, similar background, retired in 2017, medically retired as well. I run the training department with GBRS and decent amount of experience starting off with the M4 platform. My first job in the teams was ordnance, so I handled all the weapons, all the sights, making sure they're all good to go. So decent amount of experience with the background of it and shooting it.
Joe, we're not going to skip that hair, please. Thank you. Best hair on the team.
With the comb. Okay.
Best hair on the team, goddammit.
You should. Who's your barber, man?
His wife.
Oh, okay. Okay, all right. Let's move on to the guns. All right, so you guys got a lot of experience with this. And quick history about the NGSW for folks who are watching this and they don't know. The military basically questioned the capabilities of the 5.56 for longer distances, for intermediate barriers, some of the new technology body armors. The 5.56 basically lacking the performance to defeat those, even terminal ballistics on direct hits. So they wanted to go to a larger caliber that could just travel further and still have that knockdown power, lack of a better term. And solicited, and 6 Hour came out on top with the 6.8, and that's been tested, and now it's just being slowly fielded as far as I know. Now, 6.8 millimeter is the military's cartridge. We've got the 277 Fury over here. It's a hybrid cartridge, like it's got the steel kind of backing and then the brass top. And the reason for that is to handle the pressure, because it really does leave the barrel pretty hot, right around 3,000, 3,100 feet per second for 16 to 18 inch barrel. So, hey, that's the new gun. Now, that's completely different. The caliber is different. I know some of the ergonomics are very similar, but the operations are different when it comes to, like, it's got a bufferless system. So you guys know best, man. Tell us about your thoughts about this new program, but let's talk about the M4 first. And I want to know if you guys had any issues when it comes to the capabilities of the M4, the 5.56, and then let's move on to the gun. DJ?
Personally, for me, I've never had an issue with the M4 platform. That was my favorite gun to shoot all the way through. Even when we transitioned over to 416, a lot of guys were still going back to the M4, the 10-inch barrel, just tried and true. And, you know, outside of the, the quad rail, you start upgrading these things, some subtle little changes here and there. I mean, for me, that platform's never let me down, and especially start chambering 70 grain, 77 grain. That stopping power cannot be ignored. I've never had an issue. I've never seen an issue or heard of one. And for me, best bang for my buck, I'm shooting 70 or 77 grain.
What were some of the distances you were engaging?
All of mine were very close. I mean, we had a couple, you push out 100 meters, 200 meters, but we've had guys really push it out there and smack guys, and same thing, never had any issues that I've heard of.
So, I guess, Joe, let me ask you this. Did you hear when you were in the Navy SEALs, and same goes to you, Cole, like anybody like engaging longer distances and they're having accuracy issues with the 5.56, they're having terminal ballistics issues, or some intermediate barrier or body armor defeating issues? Because that's what the military kind of claimed. They're like, hey, we're having issues with the 5.56, so we need something bigger. Did you hear anything like that?
Yeah, a little bit. Biggest thing was the battlefront. It was a different time, especially during the GWAT. A lot of those guys were not running around with body armor unless they were coming across the border, and a lot of those were foreign fighters. Biggest thing to defeat that, a lot of the recce guys that would take those longer shots, just would up that platform. They go to the Mark 12, the 7.62 variant, 308, and all those guys would usually take all those long range shots. But with that platform, I personally didn't hear anything about it, but I definitely heard guys. That's why they bumped up to the bigger round, was because that 5.56, especially out 5-7 1,000 yards, it was just, it doesn't travel as much, and that ass behind it wasn't hitting that power that they needed. So
Gotcha. So, and we would have 308, right? So you got 5.56. There's limitations to that. I get it. But then 308 is a very capable NATO round, 7.62 by 51. But for some reason, the military still wanted to go to something different. Cole, what do you think about this?
I mean, my background on it has always been, a short barrel 5.56 round, and in all of our training, anything really past 200 yards, the reason to take a shot, especially with red dots, there wasn't much, because the really effective fire, and to Joey's point too, at any point where there had to be taking longer shots, not only is it a specialty that snipers would go through schools, there was no real reason, I say, at our kind of assaulter level to take that long of a shot and really be effective. But the guys, when we needed to take those longer shots, were the subject matter experts and would be able to level up in whatever caliber that was, 300 Win Mags, SR-25s, those type things.
Gotcha. In a squad, pretty much most people carry the 5.56 M4. Did you have another soldier carry the different caliber, different weapon platform?
Some belt-fed machine guns, Chapin 7.62, something like that, Mark 48, something like that, the old school 60s. But then the other thing you can't get away from is, how can you target ID at 500 yards? You target ID at 500 yards, guaranteed with an ACOG at night? No. Right? You got to have a UNS, you have to have something, and even the limit to your night vision. Can you really target ID out that far? So a lot of it's, you're planning for a problem that I'm not going to say doesn't exist, but it's not the common that we were dealing with. Right? Those guys that really have to take those long shots, they've got every tool in the arsenal to be able to reach out and touch those guys. You're not really relying on a guy with an EOTech with a 3 power magnifier to take a 500-meter shot at night. Right? You got to be able to target ID first and foremost.
Okay, so I'm assuming you guys don't have any experience with the M7 then? No? Nothing? Well, here's the deal. I want to actually shoot these two guns, two platforms. You guys are very comfortable with the M4. I want you guys to let me know what you guys think, how you feel about this, but there's some downsides to it. The round is obviously bigger. Yes, it leaves hotter and goes further, but what about those kill house, training? Hit me with it. That's a 6.8, that's leaving about 3,100 feet per second. What do you guys think when it comes to training? And also, you were talking about earlier, carrying a gun, even if it's light, after 10 miles hike, it's heavy. What do you guys think about the effectiveness of that?
I mean, I think the end goal with them trying to outfit, everything from basic ground forces to high-end special forces, it may be a super capable platform, but it's the education and training that's going to go behind it. I mean, LPVOs, long scopes, things like that, you don't just hop on it and know how to shoot it, how to dial it in, and really how to function it. So I think long-term, it's that's going to be kind of a hurdle for them to overcome. It's just the education, get the full performance out of it. Not to mention all the ranges and kind of the systems, kill houses to actually be able to train with it and utilize it. On top of the ammo, the added weight. I mean, the mags are much wider and different shapes. So how are you going to outfit the modern day soldier on carrying that with the capability and the capacity?
I mean, brings up a good point. We had the exact same thing. We transitioned over 300 Blackout. You remember that? Those rounds just were not reliable for the longest time. And I know they've ironed out a lot of that stuff now, but we had the same issue in the kill houses. Now we have guys that want to transition over to 300 Blackout. Now you can't shoot inside a kill house. Now everything has to be a training artificiality. You got to get in different bullet traps. You got to move those things around. That's not the most, for me, it's not the best training environment. Now you have to change everything else just to get the same rep you could. And now is that added, that uncomfortability, it's not going to go bang every single time you pull a trigger. And I mean, we were there for all the testing of it, and it's not reliable enough to be a full-time platform. And I know it's been a long time since then. I know they've come a long way with that platform. I hope it's not the exact same thing, but for us, can I still manage the recoil? Can I still get all my accurate hits on target? And inside of a realistic range for the assaulter, can I perform with that weapon as well as I can this? Speed, accuracy, and recoil management. That's what I care about the most, just for me personally. Yeah. I don't want anything that's going to slow me down or impede my performance.
Yeah. I mean, these are really fantastic points. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, you talk about the CQB environment, close quarters. First off the bat, I mean, barrel length is pretty lengthy. So you're working in through thresholds, presentation, that extra added weight. Yeah, we used to do a lot of our stuff offset and had a decently long hikes, but at the end of the day, how well are you going to perform on target when you get there? How much exhaustion are you? Weight versus presentation and how that fits on you. But
And recoil too.
yeah, and the recoil as well.
Pretty good.
Like how you're supposed to basic presentation with that recoil, those follow-up shots, and be able to swing this thing around. I mean, the heavier you add, it may shoot flat, but at the end of the day, you still got to swing that thing around, and weapons manipulation is the top priority, especially in an assault or weapon.
Yeah. Aaron, what do you think about this, man?
I mean, I don't have as much experience as these gentlemen here when it comes to that. My little bit of background that I have, I'd have to agree with everything that everybody's saying here. There's a lot of factors that we don't think about, especially in the civilian market. We don't have that thought process. We don't have that history behind M4s and experience with different objectives and different operations that you guys have presented here. We don't think about the kill house aspect of things. Every single kill house is gonna have to be changed out now. Every single trap, every single range we go to, there's so many different factors. The weight aspect of it. Me personally, the girthiness of this thing, I mean, we're bigger individuals here, but at the end of the day, you start putting some different accessories on this thing, we're gonna start adding some size, some different space variations that we're gonna have to deal with here. I know some people have different feelings on ambidextrous things. It's just a bunch of different factors you got to play into it now. Can you chop it up and change it up the way you want to do it? 100% you could do that. But you got to take that variation into play when it comes to it. I think it's a great idea, Who knows? I mean, as Americans, we like keeping things the way we like to keep things, and the change bothers us somewhat, but who the hell knows where it's going to go?
Yeah, I mean, overall, it's a robust platform. Yes, the round seems to be very capable. All the ballistic testing shows that it is very terminally effective, but then there's downsides to it, which you guys brought up compared to the M4. I think it's going to come down to like risk versus reward that you get out of this thing, and I guess they're already feeling it, so it's happening. With that being said, I think we should just shoot it, see if you guys actually agree with that being fielded, or how would you feel if you actually start carrying that and they're taking your M4 from you and you end up carrying that thing? I'd want to know that. So you guys want to shoot it?
Yeah, let's shoot it.
All right, let's do it. What do you think?
It's got some serious kick.
Right?
Yeah.
How does it compare to 308?
Same.
Same, right?
Yeah. But I mean, taking rapid fire shots, I mean, it's pushing you back.
So you do a entry in a kill house. Your buddy starts shooting that next to you.
I don't know. I have to see how it is. Somebody's shooting next to me, but imagine it's a big kick.
Yeah.
You run it suppressed, all that, but getting balance and moving and shooting, it's be dynamic.
All right. You want to shoot some more?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had.
I'm curious if it's one of those things, if you're not behind it, you're going to self-induce malfunctions. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like limp wristing, right?
Yeah. So you're not solid behind it.
Well, I mean, we can double confirm it with you guys, see if it happens with you guys as well.
Yeah.
So overall, what do you think about the walk and shoot?
It's definitely got a lot more kick than the 5.56.
Oh yeah. Oh, I could see it too.
I think it'll take a lot of training for people. It's not a little person's gun.
Yeah. So DJ?
So that's exactly what we talk about. Like, Cole's the anomaly. You're the anomaly. 6 foot, 210 pounds is not your standard issue Mark I motto soldier. It's just not.
We're not wearing body armor.
Yeah, right? Like, you start getting smaller people, females, and everybody else. Can you run that gun at 100%? Right? And that's really what it is. When you set out all the baseline standards, high ready, low ready, transition drills, L-pres, build drills, whatever else, can you run at the same speed? And if you can't, then it's like, you're going to have to figure out how to do it. Like, the standard's a standard. Like, reality's reality. And if we all adopt that you should be able to do a low ready presentation or a build drill or L-pres in this time, and now you can't pull it off,
Yeah. And
maybe
Cole,
designed an issue.
yeah, and Cole is not only, I mean, he's a big guy, but he's also very experienced.
Yeah.
And he could feel that recoil, and he's moving with the gun. Like, it looked like the gun was beating him pretty good. What you're saying is 100% makes sense.
I mean, I think it'll take a lot of training too, even on the immediate reaction. So like at a jam, when you start using the training of like bringing it up here, it's like, it's not light.
It's not light, yeah.
Start putting
And working through that, yeah.
Can, light, yeah. Okay, so Joe, you want to shoot? What'd you think, Joe? We got another mag for you, by the way. I'll take that
nice.
one. There you go. What'd you think so far?
So weapons manipulation, it's definitely got the ounces that makes it more of a challenge than usual.
What kind of challenge?
Just weapons manipulation, speed of manipulation. So big thing with CQB, special operations, those direct action type missions, that maneuverability you need, that quickness, that snapping in and out, that's all based on weight as well. Like not only like length, you throw on a suppressor, that balance, where's that center of balance as far as this rifle goes compared to your basic rifle with manipulation points. That's the biggest thing for me, and also that kick.
Yeah, how was that?
Oh, that kick was decent. Like it's like Cole said, like the 308, definitely made my hair blow back, which is, normal but not normal. But the big thing is, you start talking about your average human being, average, definitely in shape soldier. It's going to become an issue quickly. The more you shoot it, the more you move around with it. I mean, you take a 10, 15 pound weight and you hold it up shoulder length and do that for an amount of time. Your shoulders going to get tired. Everything's going to get tired. Running through a couple structures with this, I'd definitely be exhausted.
Yeah.
And that whole trap situation, your traps will get tired and everything's it's going to get sloppy real quick.
Yeah. Well, you got another mag. Why don't you just do what Cole did, kind of walk and shoot, see how that feels on a dynamic situation. Another malfunction. And it was the same mag, right? I think it was a different mag. Yeah. All right. Well, what do you think? Last points?
I mean, it's a great platform. It definitely, the hit, like as you guys can see, even hitting the target, we don't have the pneumatics turned on. So just that impact on paper starts pushing it, which is great for stopping power. Guys run around with body armor, kit, open terrain. Yeah, that's good, but you definitely moving and shooting together will start presenting a problem real fast, just with the weight, the recoil management. But as far as like other specialties, like in a basic platoon, we always had, the assaulters run around with the M4. We had the heavy gunners. We had the recce guys. The heavy gunners would carry the Mark 46, Mark 48, the chain link guns, the single manned automatic weapons. And then we have the recce guys with the longer range stuff, more accurate stuff. As far as you describe with the round, shooting flat or longer, great for distance, mid to long range distances. But something as far as maneuverability, run a couple IADs with this thing, it's definitely going to start wearing on somebody. Accuracy will start getting affected. Like I said, weapons manipulation, run of this thing. Yeah. It's going to get cumbersome, but
that's it.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Thanks for trying. And DJ, you're next on board. Handguard is pretty hot. Be careful.
Ooh, that is.
It is hot. It got hot.
Let it cool down here for a second.
What do you think?
I think it kicks like a mule.
It actually does. You can just see
And
it.
just from the assaulter background, and now we pushed up all the optic mounts. It's so hard to get a visual representation, especially thinking about CQB environment. I have to drop my head so low, I lose all situational awareness, everything above me. I mean, just some of the ergonomics are just different enough, and the felt recoil you just can't ignore.
Yeah, and you said it's heavy too, overall.
It's heavy, man. I mean, to me, it feels like 10 or 12 pound gun slick. And you think about a laser's got to go up front, a flashlight's got to go up front. The can, everything. And now when you get this thing fully tilted up, you know, QDs, you get the sling, you get everything else, and now you add in a 5-6 click hump in.
And plus you have a loaded mag.
Loaded mags, man.
Yeah, it's a heavy gun. And I could see you guys, all three of you guys, this thing was just pretty much beating you guys, you know? And I understand that the upside is it's gonna have really good terminal effects at longer distances, but at what cost, which we kind of see, especially from experts like you.
So 8 feet, normal shoulder width apart, same way we were always taught. Present out the way it was, just 5 nice, easy rounds. We'll see what it does to your body position. Yeah. Now, drop that rear foot back and ground that heel into the ground. So we try to get tension in the hamstring, try to drive that heel in really tight. Body position alone, you can manage it, but now if you try to move, you lift up that rear foot, it's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Let me get 5 after you do.
Do what?
Let me get 5 just to show it different.
Yeah, you're a big ass dude, what, 6 foot, 250 pounds? So feet shoulder width apart, same thing, really lean into it.
Feel it.
Wow.
Dude, fully silent.
Major difference with that.
It's like we have to change the entire shooting program because it's not what they teach.
Right.
Right? It's feet shoulder width apart. All the law enforcement guys who do the exact same thing, you get in that caliber, 7.62, 3, you can't do it, man. Now you try to move and shoot. It's gonna be a hard learning curve, man.
Yeah. Like you said before too, man, the fatigue aspect, just even the fucking grip.
Oh, I mean, you gotta grip that
gnaw
thing
down
so
on that
damn
thing,
hard.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I mean, super nice platform. I just think the weight and the recoil, you can't ignore based on the body type.
right.
Just holding it real light. Nothing. Man, this thing hits you.
Yeah, dude.
This thing hits you harder than 308.
Oh boy, here we go.
Wow. Yeah, this thing. Finish it off. Yeah, this thing is hot.
My biggest thing, right? Moving and shooting, you have to be able to move in that half step or shoot in that half step, like accurately, right?
You're right. 1 foot off the ground, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm moving and shooting. I take the half step. Just that recoil alone jerks me back just that half inch.
Yeah.
That it just throws you off balance. Like you're not, like DJ kind of says, you got to have the ability to almost teleport to a spot and time you need. Stepping left, right, getting to that point to support your buddy's back while shooting on the move.
Dude,
With the M4 platform, it's just way more easier than unfortunately with this platform.
all three of you guys with the M4, the gun felt like it was part of your body. You guys are moving one with the gun. Very fluid. With this thing, it just looks something completely external. It just doesn't look comfortable.
Feels like I'm holding a 4x4.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, it's the same concept we talked about. Trying to design your M4 platform, whatever your carbine is, it should feel like a katana sword, not a broadsword.
Yes.
That feels like a broadsword.
Yeah.
I need something quick and nimble that I can actually move around. I got to be able to present from whatever fashion comes out of a bag, high ready, low ready, some in between ready. We've got to be able to snap that thing out and get accurate hits on target. And in my opinion, that's going to be a very hard thing to train to.
Yeah.
I mean, SIG makes great products. If we could just shrink that thing a little bit, lighten up the weight, get a better recoil system in it, I think you'd be onto something. The round's great, man.
Yeah, the
Plenty of
round
stopping
is
power.
very capable, yeah. Final thoughts, guys. What do you guys think? DJ? Let's start from here.
If I had to pick one, I'd pick an M4 platform.
What?
I understand the round, I understand the capability, the lethality of it. I love all that. I wish the platform was shorter, I wish it was lighter, I wish it was a little more ergonomically sound, and I wish it didn't recoil the way it does. I think it's going to be very hard for your baseline Mark 1 Motto soldier to be able to manage that thing at full capacity the way we won the GWAT with. For me, if I had to redo the entire GWAT, I wouldn't want that platform. I'd want my standard M4. but I also don't have a crystal ball and I don't know what the future holds. And I've never had to go up against an adversary with body armor. So for that being said, if I had to pick one right now and run into the mall and be a superhero for a day, I'd grab an M4. That's just me personally.
Very well. Cole?
I mean, I think it's a very capable platform. We've talked about some of the problems that we think we'll see with those just on the education, the ammo, the weight. Not taken away from the capability of it, but I think it'll take a lot of education and infrastructure kind of on the back end, and it'll probably take a lot longer than they forecast. DJ's point too, I just still stick with the 5.56. We talked Army is adopting it, but Marine Corps isn't, and I think there'll be a lot of logistical issues of different branches running different ammo calibers. But I guess time will tell, and we'll see where it goes.
Very well. Joe?
I mean, overall, SIG makes some awesome guns in general, pistol and rifle platforms. At the end of the day, who's your target audience, and what do you want the gun to perform like? Where do you imagine it performing? On the battlefield, this platform just doesn't work, in my personal opinion, in close quarters, special operations, or quick ground assault type stuff. Just with the weight, the ability to maneuver and manipulate that weapon, and just recoil management itself. Like, I couldn't imagine in some of the firefights that I've heard people get into. I've never personally been into one, but a couple that lasted hours on end. Like, hey, I was just in this 2-hour tick. There's no way I could shoot that thing solid for 2 hours switching mags. Like, I would just be done physically, just on the shoulder in general. Like Cole mentioned, and you guys have mentioned before, the recoil on this hits so hard. Yeah, it would just tear people down too quickly to continually, if shooting as efficient from round 1 than round 90. Yeah. With the M4 platform, the 5.56, yeah, you'll get wore out and tired just as time goes on, but presenting that thing, just the maneuverability of it, you can still accurately shoot and get your standards in from round 1 to, mag 90, round 900. That same presentation and manipulation, it's not as hard on the body, it's not as hard on the soldier, it's not as hard in the type of combat environment you're shooting in.
Perfect. And Aaron, what do you think, man? You watch these guys shoot.
Honestly, watching them shoot, everybody brought up valid points, great points on this. I think my biggest factor that I would take from everybody here, just from what I've been through, is the fatigue factor. I've got to agree with you guys. I mean, I think that would be the biggest factor on me, especially. And like I said before, we're all big guys here. We all can carry some weight, but at some point, you're going to get tired holding that. The fatigue, not only of the weight of the gun, but also, I mean, that bang. That bang. People don't understand a lot of times, dude, you keep shooting. That's fatigue on the body, That's something that's going to build up. And then also you're grabbing onto that gun, getting more tense. That's also another factor of fatigue that you have to add in there. So again, pros and cons to it. There's definitely pros to it. There are definitely some cons to it, as we see. I think, like DJ said, time will tell. We don't know what the future holds. We don't know what we're fighting in the future here. Well, maybe some people do, but I don't. And I think time will tell from there. But SIG, I'll piggyback off of Joe, makes some great products. We all know I'm a fan of SIG. But when it comes to who your clientele is at this point in time, I think you got to take a little bit more, we'll say, a thought process into what their needs are at the time and place where they are. So, again, I think it's a toss-up where we're at with things.
Yeah. And not to take anything from the weapon system itself, it's very robust, nice, SIG quality, obviously. And the caliber itself is very capable. It's been proven. They've tested that extensively. But, that doesn't mean that it's a end-all, be-all thing. As you guys pointed out, some of the cons, which I think are very logical and reasonable. But, as you guys said, time will tell. So thanks a lot to GBRS Group for having us over here at the Blackwater Training Center. These guys know what they're doing. Definitely check them out on, they got their website. They obviously got their socials. They got some really cool stuff. And some of their stuff will be featured, obviously.
There. And I'll let you close out, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Check out that podcast. True American Heroes, man. Yeah. Definitely check them out. They are amazing human beings. And I'm so honored to be here actually shooting this video with you guys, and hopefully we'll do some more stuff together. So definitely check out GBRS Group. Guys, thanks for checking this video out. We appreciate your business.
God bless.
And we'll see you on the next one.